Good morning to all of you. Today I will be clear you about the fractional knapsack problem. First of all, we'll discuss what is fractional knapsack problem. Suppose we are given weights and values of n items, and we need to put these items in a knapsack of a particular capacity. Suppose this is capital W, the overall capacity of the knapsack, to get the maximum total value in the knapsack. In the 0 1 knapsack problem, we are not allowed to break items. We either take the whole item or do not take it. But in the fractional knapsack problem, we can break items for maximizing the total value of knapsack. This problem, in which we can break an item, is also called the fractional knapsack problem. A brute force solution would be to try all the possible subsets with all the different fractions, but that will be too much time taking and too much complex. An efficient solution is to use greedy approach. The basic idea of the greedy approach is to calculate the ratio of value and weight for each item and sort the item on the basis of this ratio, as we have already discussed in our lectures. Then take the item with the highest ratio and add them until we can't add the next item as a whole. And at the end, add the next item as much as we can. That means here we are taking the fraction of that particular item that cannot be inserted as a whole, which will always be the optimal solution to the problem. So this was the theoretical knowledge about the fractional knapsack problem. Now we will come to the code to implement this fractional knapsack problem. So first we will discuss the main function. Here is the code. First, in the main function, we have declared some arrays and some variables here. So what are these variables and arrays? We have taken two arrays as a float named as weight and profit, and these array will contain the weight and profit of the given items that we want to insert in our knapsack. So we have declared two arrays named as weight and profit, and having one variable of type float capacity for indicating the overall knapsack capacity. Sorry for the interruption. Uh, so I think the screen is visible here. Okay, so we have taken what we have declared here, two arrays named as weight and profit for storing the weight and profit of individual items that we want to insert in the knapsack. And here is one variable capacity of type float for indicating the overall capacity of the knapsack. Here in this statement, we have declared three variables of type int as num, I, and j for further calculation purpose, and declare one more array named as ratio of type float, which will which is our basically our solution vector that will sorry, this is not a solution vector. This is actually uh, array. This is an array which will contain the ratio of the values and the profit values and the weight values. As we have discussed, we will calculate the ratio of both the weight and profit of each of the item, so that we will solve the problem accordingly, knapsack problem accordingly. So here we are calculating the ratio of weight and profit values of each and every item, and store that particular ratio in this array. And here is one another variable named as temp. Now in the next statement, we are printing a simple statement as enter the number of objects, and in the next statement number 47, we are scanning that total number of objects into the variable num, num. So in num, we are having the total number of objects that we want to insert our knapsack. In the statement number 49, we are again printing a simple statement that is enter the weights and profit of each and object. And in the statement number 50, we are applying a for loop here. And this is a for loop. I is equal to 0, I less than num, and I plus plus. So here we are initializing our for loop and with the variable I is equal to 0, and this loop will continue till I less than num. So this loop will continue for each and every object from the very first object to the total number of objects, that is num. And each time when we calculate, when we process each of the item, this loop will get incremented by 1 from this I plus plus. And what we are doing in this for loop, we are scanning the weight and profit of each of the item and storing that particular item in its respective position in these weight and profit arrays. Like if we are scanning the zeroth item, uh, zeroth item, then the weight and profit of that zeroth item will get stored in its respective position. That means weight of 0, and the profit will get stored at profit of 0. So the weight and profit values of that zeroth item will get stored at its particular respective position. So in this similar manner, this for loop will continue for each and every item, and the weight and profit value of each and every item will get stored at its particular respective position. After this for loop, we are coming to this 54th statement, 54th number statement. Here we are again simply printing a message, printf, enter the capacity of knapsack. Here we want to uh, enter the capacity of the overall knapsack. So, and we in the statement number 55, we are scanning the overall capacity of the knapsack in the variable capacity. In the next statement, that is the statement number 57, we are again applying a for loop for each and every item as we have discussed in the earlier for loop. How this loop will continue for each and every item from 0 to num minus 1 or 1 to num. We can apply in either manner, either I is equal to 0 to less than num, or I is equal to 1 to I is less than num. In this for loop, what we are doing, we are calculating the ratio of profit and weight of each and every item. So how we are calculating this ratio? Profit of that particular item upon weight of that particular item, and in this manner we are calculating the ratio of both profit and weight and store that particular ratio in this ratio of I. So suppose we are calculating the ratio of zeroth item or the very first item, then the profit of 0, the profit of the first item or the zeroth item will come from this profit of 0, and the weight of 0, and this will be calculated and stored at ratio of 0. So zeroth item ratio will get stored at ratio of 0. So in the similar manner, this loop will continue for each and every item, and the ratio of each and every item will be calculated and stored at its particular position in this ratio array. And here in the 59th statement, this for loop is finished. And next is the statement number 61. Here what we are doing, we are applying two for loops in the statement number 61 and statement number 62. So why we are applying the two for loops here? Actually, we want to sort the ratio value that we have computed earlier in the above statement. Whatever value of the ratio we are getting, we will sort these values so that we will have the ratio values in a particular increasing or decreasing order. So how we are sorting these values, ratio values, we are applying a outer for loop for I is equal to 0 and this loop will continue till I less than num and I plus plus, and again a for loop, inner for loop for j is equal to I plus 1, j less than num and j plus plus. So we all know, we all are familiar with this sorting. How do we sort two values or a sequence of values? So here is just a sorting logic. We all are familiar with this logic, and then we applied a if condition here, and if in this if condition we are comparing the ratio of I and ratio of j. So whichever ratio is greater, if ratio of I is smaller than ratio of j, then we will swap these two values, sort these two values, and accordingly if this condition is satisfied, then the along with this ratio value, the associated weight value and the profit value will also get sorted together. So all the three values will get swapped with each other if this condition remains true. So after completing this sorting loop from statement number 67 to statement number 77, this is whole sorting logic which we are familiar already. After completion of this sorting logic, we are having the ratio values in a particular sorted order. Now, after this sorting logic, we are coming to this statement number 79. Here we are calling a function named as knapsack and passing the particular arguments in this function named as num, that is the total number of objects that we want to insert in the knapsack, weight, profit, and capacity. So weight and profit are the particular arrays that we have discussed earlier, and capacity is the overall knapsack capacity. Now we will come to the function definition. Here is the function definition. So in the knapsack, whatever arguments we have passed in the calling, at the time of calling, we will get the value of these arguments from that calling function. So int n, this is the total number of objects, weight, float weight of array, weight array, profit array, and capacity. So this array will contain the weight of each and every item. Profit array will contain the profit value of each and every item, and capacity is the overall capacity of the knapsack. Now, what is written in the definition part of this array? Here we are again declaring some arrays and some variables like x, we have declared an array x. This is our solution vector. This will contain that whether a particular item is inserted into the knapsack or not, or inserted into some fraction part, or inserted as a whole. So this will contain the x is the solution vector, which will show the status of a particular item, that whether it is taken or not, or it is taken as a whole or in a fraction. Next variable TP, that is the total price, and we initialize it as a 0. Other variables we have declared here are I, J, U, and these are of integer types. And a small u is, we have initialized this u variable as a total capacity, overall capacity of the knapsack. Next, in the statement number 15, we are applying a for loop here for each and every item. We are applying a statement for each and every item, and we put x of I is equal to 0, 0.0. That means in the solution vector, first we initialize this solution vector for each and every item as 0. What it means exactly? It means that initially no item is inserted in the array, in the knapsack, sorry, no item is inserted into the knapsack. So the solution vector contains 0 as a status of each and every item. It shows 0. That means no item is inserted uh, in that particular knapsack. So it shows 0 for each and every item. In the statement number 18, we are again applying a for loop for each and every item. Now, what are we doing in this for loop? This loop continues from statement number 18 and finished at statement number 26. So what is written here in between these lines? So this loop will execute for each and every item, and in the definition of this for loop, what is written here, we have applied a if condition here. So if weight of I is greater than small u, so what it means here, suppose if I is equal to 0, that means we are talking about very first item. So if the weight of the first item is greater than the overall capacity of the knapsack, if it is so, that means, like suppose we are having the knapsack capacity of 5 kg, and the item of the weight of the very first item is suppose 10 kg, then it cannot be inserted into that knapsack, because the weight of that particular item is 10 kg and the knapsack capacity is only 5 kg. So this condition is true. So we can't insert that particular item into that knapsack. So we will break, and we will move to the next statement, statement number 28. But if it is not so, that means the weight of that very first item is not greater than the overall capacity u, then we come to this else part and execute this else part. So if the weight of that particular item, if the weight of that particular item is less than the overall capacity of the knapsack, that item will insert it into the knapsack as a whole, and we will put into the solution vector as 1.0. X of I is equal to 1.0. That means x of I is what here in this situation, that means x of 0 is equal to 1.0. That means the very first item, that means the 0th item is inserted as a whole. So we have assigned the value 1 as it is inserted as the whole. So we have assigned as 1 to show that the item is inserted as a whole at this particular position x of 0. And we will also update the total price. Total price is equal to total price plus profit value of that particular item. TP is equal to TP plus profit of 0. And similarly, we will, as one item is getting inserted into that particular knapsack, so the knapsack capacity will also affected. So we have also update the knapsack capacity as u is equal to u minus weight of I. So whatever is the knapsack capacity, we will deduct the overall weight of that particular item that got inserted into the knapsack. So here are the three variables that we have updated after one item inserted into that particular knapsack. So this loop will continue for each and every for that particular object till this condition remains true. Whenever this condition remains false, this loop will continue till this condition remains false. So we, each and every time this condition remains false, we will execute this else part for each and every item, and insert that particular item as a whole into the knapsack. But whenever this condition remains true, this condition will get true in any situation. This for loop break here, and uh, we will switch to this statement number 28. So whatever is written in statement number 28, here is a if condition. That means if I is less than n, that means, what is the meaning of this if condition, why we are coming to this statement? इसका मतलब ये है कि जो भी आइटम नैपसेक में मतलब एज अ होल जा सकता था, वो हमने नैपसेक के अंदर डलवा दिया है, इंसर्ट करवा दिया है, और उसके अकॉर्डिंगली हमने ये एक्स ऑफ आई और टीपी और यू को हमने अपडेट कर दिया है. बट जो भी आइटम, अब जो रिमेनिंग जो आइटम्स, अभी भी कुछ आइटम हमारे पास ऐसे हो सकते हैं जो एज अ होल नैपसेक में नहीं जा पाए हैं, बट उनका कुछ फ्रैक्शन हम उसके अंदर इंसर्ट कर सकते हैं. बट ड्यू टू दिस इफ कंडीशन, क्योंकि हम यहाँ से बाहर आ गए थे, क्योंकि जो रिमेनिंग आइटम थे उनका जो वेट है वो ओवरऑल नैपसेक कैपेसिटी से ज़्यादा था, वो पूरे के पूरे नैपसेक में नहीं जा सकते थे। तो हमने यहाँ से ब्रेक किया और हम इस स्टेटमेंट नंबर 28 पर यहाँ पे स्विच कर गए हैं। अब यहाँ पे हमने उन रिमेनिंग आइटम्स के लिए एक कंडीशन अप्लाई की है। तो व्हाट इज दिस कंडीशन हियर, इफ आई इज लेस देन एन, दैट मीन्स ये जो फॉर लूप हमने यहाँ पे स्किप किया था, इसकी जो भी अपडेटेड आई की जो वैल्यू होगी, सपोज हमने 3 आइटम्स यहाँ पे इंसर्ट करा दिए थे नैपसेक में, एंड सपोज वी आर हैविंग 5 आइटम्स हियर जिन्हें हमें इंसर्ट करवाना था। ठीक है, तो अभी भी 2 आइटम्स हमारे रिमेनिंग रह गए हैं और ये जो आई का लूप चला है वो 3 तक ही चल पाया है, और 4 और 5 के लिए क्योंकि ये कंडीशन फॉल्स हो गई थी, तो ये यहाँ से हम ब्रेक कर गए थे। तो आई की वैल्यू सपोज अभी 3 है, 3 तक हमने चला लिया था और आई प्लस प्लस हो गया था, तो अब आई की वैल्यू सपोज 4 हो चुकी है। तो अभी भी वी आर हैविंग 2 आइटम्स जो कि नैपसेक में जा सकते हैं, एज अ होल नहीं जा सकते बट उनका कुछ फ्रैक्शन जा सकता है। तो हम यहाँ पे कंडीशन चेक कर लेते हैं कि इफ आई इज लेस देन एन, अगर आई की वैल्यू लेस देन एन है, मतलब 4 इज लेस देन 5, दैट मीन्स देयर आर सम आइटम्स रिमेनिंग जो कि नैपसेक के अंदर अभी नहीं गए हैं, बट हमें उनकी पॉसिबिलिटी चेक करनी है कि क्या उनका कुछ फ्रैक्शन नैपसेक में जा सकता है या नहीं जा सकता है। तो अगर कुछ आइटम रिमेनिंग है, अगर ये कंडीशन ट्रू होती है, तो हम उनका वो फ्रैक्शन वाला पार्ट कंप्यूट कर लेते हैं कि कितना फ्रैक्शन हमें उस नैपसेक में डलवाना है। एंड हाउ वी कैलकुलेट दिस फ्रैक्शन पार्ट, we are dividing the weight of that particular item with the total capacity of the knapsack. That means u upon weight of I. Okay, suppose knapsack capacity, the remaining capacity of the knapsack is suppose 2 kg, and जो हमारे पास आइटम बचा हुआ है सपोज उसका वेट है 5 kg, तो वो 5 kg तो हम नैपसेक में नहीं इंसर्ट करवा सकते हैं क्योंकि नैपसेक की कैपेसिटी 2 kg को अकोमोडेट करने की है। तो हम उस आइटम का एक पर्टिकुलर फ्रैक्शन कैलकुलेट कर लेते हैं। एंड हाउ वी कैलकुलेट दिस फ्रैक्शन, u अपॉन वेट ऑफ आई। दैट मीन्स नैपसेक की कैपेसिटी सपोज 2 kg है और वेट है 5 kg, तो 2 अपॉन 5 पार्ट उस आइटम का हम नैपसेक के अंदर पुट करवा सकते हैं। तो 2/5 एक फ्रैक्शन कैलकुलेट होकर हमारे पास आ गया है, और हमने उसके सोल्यूशन वेक्टर में उसको अपडेट कर दिया है कि जो x ऑफ i है, दैट मीन्स x ऑफ फोर्थ है, यानी कि जो फोर्थ आइटम जो हमारा है उसका हमने 2/5 पार्ट नैपसेक के अंदर इंसर्ट करवाया है। तो यहाँ पे हमारा फ्रैक्शन कैलकुलेट हो गया है फोर्थ आइटम के लिए। एंड सिमिलरली वी विल अपडेट द वैल्यू ऑफ टीपी as we have inserted the fraction of fourth item or any particular item into the knapsack. So the price of that fraction is also added into the total price. So how it will update it? TP is equal to TP plus X of I into profit of I. तो जो टोटल प्राइस हमने यहाँ ऊपर वाले स्टेटमेंट में कैलकुलेट की थी उसी में हम ऐड कर देंगे जितना फ्रैक्शन हमने लिया है फोर्थ आइटम का, दैट इज एक्स आई, और जितनी उसकी पर्टिकुलर वैल्यू थी उससे उसको हम मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे, तो उस फ्रैक्शन का भी हमें टोटल प्राइस कैलकुलेट होकर आ जाएगा और ओवरऑल वैल्यू के साथ हम उसे ऐड कर देंगे, तो वी विल गेट द टोटल प्राइस of that particular items that we have inserted into the knapsack. Now, in the statement number 33, we are applying again a printf statement here, and the result vector is, so this will show us the resultant vector x of I, and we are applying a for loop here for showing each and every element of x of I of solution vector. So in this printf statement, we are printing the solution vector x of I. This will show that which item is taken as a whole and which item is taken as a fraction and which items are not taken into the knapsack. So in x of I, we can show the final status of our items and our knapsack. And similarly, we can also calculate the profit value. We can also print that profit value by this TP variable. So this was all about the fractional knapsack problem, and if you want to see the output, then we can run this code. Here we are getting a message, enter the number of objects. Suppose I am entering 3 here. Enter the weights and profits of each and every object. So I have to enter the weight and profit of items that I want to insert into the knapsack. Okay. Suppose first item is having the weight of 10 kg and profit value of 60. Second item is having the weight of 20 kg and a profit value of 100. And suppose the third item is of 30 kg and having the value of 120. So now we will show the exact status of our knapsack and the exact status of each and every item. Sorry, first we have to enter the knapsack capacity also. Suppose 50 kg is the knapsack capacity, and now we will get the answer. So the resultant vector will contain the first item is taken as a whole, second item will also taken as a whole, but the third item, the at this particular point when two items get inserted into this particular knapsack, there is no sufficient space for the third item, so the third item is getting inserted into the knapsack in a fraction, and this much fraction is inserted into the knapsack, and here is the total maximum profit which we attain, that is 240. So this was all about the fractional knapsack problem. Thank you very much.